So Mark here from Rock and Load. We are here, beautiful Bloodstock. It is Saturday 13th of August.
Saturday 13th.
Yeah, Saturday 13th of August. The weather is unreal. We are all melting.
Yep.
Not built for this in any shape or form.
No.
We're joined by the guys from Haint. Haint are the guys who won the Northern Irish Medal of the Masses for 2022. Congratulations. I don't know if I've seen you really properly since that date.
Don't think so,
Yeah.
With the interview beforehand, and then I haven't seen you since.
That was a bit of that night was just chaos.
It
Absolute
was a bit
It's
chaos.
bedlam. That night is
That was
bedlam,
another
you know?
sweatbox of a night. Like,
Yeah. It was
crazy.
rammed. Like, it was great to see throughout the whole competition that really every event and every heat was sold out.
Yeah, I
You
know.
know?
No,
Which is
fantastic.
amazing, you know,
Really
because
good.
it's taken a couple of years to get to that stage, but it's really appreciated now by the fans and by the bands as well for
Yeah,
having
definitely.
the support.
Absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was, again, the turnout, just whenever we got there and the doors were open and there was queue down the street, it was like, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Unexpected a little bit, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like you said, like the fans and the bands, because it was sold out, but also the bands were all on top form as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody
That's-
put their A game in.
And now you sort of had a bit of clarity and distance from the whole thing itself. When you look back on it, how do you sort of view it all?
Fantastic experience.
Yes, I mean, yeah, it was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
And do you know what? It helped us focus
Yeah.
on getting our sculpting our sound and getting everything.
Yeah, it's probably, as you say, sometimes you need that, don't you?
You
Because you can sit in a practice room and do your thing week in, week out and say to yourselves, yeah, we have this down, but like unless you have that little bit of pressure on top of yourselves to sort of really
Yeah.
sharpen yourselves and focus, you know?
Yeah,
That's exactly
I
it.
agree.
Yeah, musically we'd been pretty solid for a while,
Mm-hmm.
but vocally we'd been doing ideas and working things out, and then all of a sudden it was like, no, we have to have this
Yeah.
nailed to do this, start
this
doing these shows. So really, put the pressure on, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Whenever we were sat down with the task in front of us, we really did well. With these two guys, they really dug in, made the vocals work,
Yeah.
just the way they had planned from the start. But to see it in action was brilliant. To hear the feedback about the fact that we'd done well with it was pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose, like, for me, being on the other side of the fence, it must be a bit of a weird experience being a creative and a songwriter, putting yourself out there, you know,
Yeah.
thinking yourselves, like, we all fucking love this, you know, but then when you put it out in front of a crowd, and you're waiting for that reaction to come back and maybe feedback from people, and when they do come back with a positive vibe, then, you know, you feel you're on the right track.
It's a good
Yes.
feeling.
Yeah.
Like, the three of us are a bit old in the tooth to really give loads of like, freak out about it, but
Yeah.
We're old enough to know that it's okay for us to be happy with the stuff that we make.
Yeah.
I mean, even if somebody else does it, we'll still do it because we like it.
Yeah.
You know, so the fact that other people are starting to coming around to it, even at this level, is it's very rewarding. It's very nice.
yeah.
And remind me again, how long have you guys been together?
3 years in
The
June.
three of us have been together for 3 years. The two of us have been writing together for
About
5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
So some of the songs we're playing are that old, you know.
Yeah.
We've been jamming them out for that long.
And would you, the sound then that you have, is that, like, as you say, something going back those sort of 5-6 years? You had a sort of an idea in your mind of which direction you were going?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's always been there, even just embryonic. But you know, again, the fact that we're really happy playing those first songs that we wrote.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, means
Yeah.
that it's been there since day one.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only unknown really for us was vocals.
Yep.
Because we both wanted to test things that we hadn't really done in previous bands.
Properly push each other, you know, to just elevate our own creativity and elevate who we are as musicians, and I think we've achieved that. So that again, that was a goal.
Yeah, the vocals were an idea, as we all had an idea in our head of what we wanted to sound like, because we were happy with the music that we've been making, and we thought, well, we could at least put as much into the vocals as we have into everything else. So it was almost like a blueprint that we had that we were going to work towards, and we did it. It was always the plan. We never really thought seriously about having this an individual singer.
Yeah.
We just wanted to, because both Darren and Ian have fronted bands before, and they both obviously had a voice, so just looking to make sure that they could write together.
Yeah.
So that was just to see that happen, to see it come to fruition was pretty good. And again, whenever people started to notice, that was a relief, really.
Yeah. And how do you sort of work that out then? When is it just get it on paper first of all, and then sort of just work in the rehearsal room?
No, we'll take songs individually and go away and demo them,
Right.
and then get feedback. And I think, in fact, the songs that we've both done, when we've presented them to everybody else, it's always been, oh no, there hasn't really been much changes.
No, there hasn't really.
We've generally been, happy enough with our ideas, and because we were kind of working off a common philosophy at the start, I don't think you can tell a song that has Ian doing the vocal lines than a song that I did the vocal lines.
Yeah.
And like know each other, you know how each other sounds and what the strengths are.
Yep.
Yeah, and I sort of asked this question before back at the Metal Masses, but like, you know, we all love people in boxes and figure out genres, but sort of like, who the fuck are you and what are you? You know, where do you like to put yourself?
Well,
God, we still don't know.
that's
No.
it. I mean, that's the
Still
thing.
don't
I think we cross genres and boundaries, and we've become. I mean, from the feedback, you know, a lot of people are finding it hard to pigeonhole us, and we like that.
Yeah.
You know, that's-
Genre fluid.
Yeah.
yeah.
Genre fluid.
Genre fluid.
I know.
That's brilliant. I like that. We'll
Yeah.
probably
Put
steal
that
that.
on a
in
We
fact.
should let I
I think that's going to be. But yeah, because we just bring so many influences, I think, in, and
Yeah.
Don't
And
think
even
we could have, if we were to decide we were going to be one kind of band, I don't think we could even settle on one.
Yeah.
Between us. So it has to be coming from a little bit different directions.
I know myself, I tinker on guitar, but Jesus, if I pick up a guitar, I'm immediately influenced by whatever I've been listening to.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine trying to put yourself together as a band, trying to get a real identity. It's got to be hard. There's got to be something that does happen over time.
you know,
maybe again, it's just very natural for me. I've always had a very specific writing style, and like again, my phone is just full of riffs, like because I never stop
Yeah.
really writing. So like we've got a bank of stuff to work with always, but at the same time we're quite not necessarily slow, but we certainly take our time about crafting the right song and putting it together and making it sound the way we want it to sound.
It's about being patient yourself as well,
It
and
is.
not trying to rush yourself,
Yeah.
because you'll know how you like to work and what works for you, I suppose. You know.
Yeah.
we produce our own music as well.
Yeah.
So you know, we record it ourselves, we're releasing it ourselves. So that adds a bit of a time element on the things as well.
Yeah,
but we
it
can
does.
take the time and we can hear how it sounds in a record or in a demo, proper demo, you know, recorded semi-pro, and go, well, this is what it should sound like when we release it finally.
Yeah.
But that adds a bit of time on.
And the production side of things is something you enjoy.
I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Some people love it, some people hate it. You know, it's a totally different discipline to obviously play.
The thing I've had to do is make sure I don't fall down that rabbit hole too much and remember
Yeah.
that I'm a bass player first and producer second.
Yeah.
There's times when the bass kind of gets set aside and I'm just absorbed into producing, but
Yeah.
no, I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
But it's secondary and has to stay, you know.
Yeah. And you guys, like guitar-wise and sound-wise, I've seen you in the Metal Mass. You played a diesel amp, I think, was it?
Yeah, I
Was that a new one for you? Was that what you used before?
I've always used diesel.
Oh, did you? Right, okay.
Aye, well, certainly with Haint, I've always used diesel
Okay,
anyway.
okay.
You know,
And it's quite a cutting sound.
it is. I think as the only guitarist, you know, I need something
Yeah.
that's going to be massive.
Cut through the mix, I suppose, really.
Yeah, Darren, and that's the other thing. You know, Darren and I have worked like really, really hard on
Yeah.
the sound, like and making sure that each because we do have the peaks and troughs that they sound how we want them to sound whenever it happens.
Yeah,
So
very much
it's,
so. And what about board? What are you using on the ground then to help you out? I see you jumping on
Jesus,
something.
it's really difficult. Aye.
Jumping on it, it was his lead.
I have this huge big MIDI board thing that controls everything, the amp and delays and overdrafts and octaves and all sorts of things, and then I've got a sampler as well, which was causing me a few diffs yesterday. Like, I was like,
I've gone completely the opposite. I've just simplified everything down into one pedal. Like,
yeah.
Have you thought about going down like the absolute digital route with the camper or something like that there?
I used to have a camper.
Okay,
I
you
did
used to
have a camper.
camper.
I went from Mesa Boogie to camper, and then I had a camper for a while, and then it was like, oh no, I missed that. I just missed that air being pushed behind me.
Yeah.
You can't replicate that.
Yeah.
Well, you can. That's what they say, but I can hear the difference.
Yeah, I suppose like for the touring band especially, and now for like, the cost of taking all gear on the road.
Yeah, I know.
Stuff like that there is really easy just to chuck it into an overhead probably
Well,
on a plane.
That's exactly the route I've went down. There's a new Zoom pedal for basses that I've got. And I'm just going to buy a little power amp, and that's me, and it can all fit in a case. And
Good.
And sounds
Right.
and effects wise, what do you use in the bass?
mainly chorus and a bit of overdrive. There's always a bit of chorus. It's sort of the Tool, sort of Justin Chancellor type thing. He always has like a low, or Isis, which are two sounds I absolutely love. Always had a little bit of low chorus in the background, so I've got that, and then I'll have, for certain parts of Good Quiet songs, I've got like a proper chorus effect, and if there's like one of the songs Ian's doing a solo, I've got like a pitch effect, so to try and fill. Again, thinking about the production side, I start thinking about frequency bands and you know, filling gaps and stuff. So, but not a lot. It's a fairly relatively simplistic setup, and it's all done through a single pedal, even down to amp emulation and everything. So I've gone the opposite of him. I've really simplified my sound down and also made it easily transportable.
Yeah.
Even the bass. I got a headless
Even the
bass,
bass,
so it's like shorter now.
No, everything I had weighs a fucking ton. So.
You just have to make sure you feel there's value in it, you know, when you paid all that money.
Maybe.
Well,
Carrying it.
that diesel sounds fantastic. Like,
You don't really see them very often. It stands out when you see something like that there in the bar.
you were saying yesterday the sound guys on the new Blood stage were.
They were like,
They're
oh,
all
diesel.
Did you have it behind the thing? Because I didn't see it on stage, was it?
No, it was on the.
Was
it
it
was
there?
on top
Was it?
of one of the amps, like But that's my baby.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a total opposite. I was interviewing a guys yesterday from Swamp Coffin. He played the Jägermeister stage, and I said, "Look, your guitar's really interesting, man. What was that guitar?" Because I thought it was like maybe a custom shop Telecaster. Oh, Squire. I said, "Is that like a modified?" Or he says, "No, nothing at all. Standard Squire." And then I've got another Harley Benton with me. And I was just like, that's a total contrast. When you get usually at the festivals, you know, it's everybody's bringing out their best gear.
Bringing out their best, I know. I was a bit.
Harley Bentons aren't bad for the money. Like.
No, they are.
They're not.
They're surprising. They're surprised. Yeah. Actually, a guy in Mastiff was literally playing one on stage as well. I was really surprised. That matte black Strat with the active pickups was like fair play to him, you know.
Yeah.
And yourself on the drums, I was just thinking about your work within the band. Obviously, these guys leave you a lot of space then to work. So, like, how do you work that out?
Well, what I tend to do is just basically I'll listen to what Ian writes, and from there I'll just find the most complicated thing I can think of, and then try and do that.
Try and rob as much space for these guys.
Well, not even robbing space as such, but just trying to make sure that I'm doing something that's maybe a wee bit outside my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So that, and that's not a big ask, considering like Ian's riffs are always interesting. And in the best possible way, because they're rarely standard, so I do have to really think about it.
Yeah.
So, as I said, they do give me a lot of space to do that. And if I do want to try something that's a wee bit out there, I have all the space in the world and all like a blank slate to do it.
Yeah.
And it makes you better. It makes you better as a player.
Yeah.
Because as I say, you're doing the thing that's the first maybe 3 or 4 times you can't get it right.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that it's beyond you.
Yeah.
But then whenever you do, and hopefully you've been working towards something that will actually complement what's already there, and if that's the case, then that's what we do. I think that's why we keep getting mistaken for prog, because of the fact that we're all playing. We're playing just,
three different songs.
Yeah, we're playing like a wee tiny bit outside. All of us are playing a wee bit outside our comfort zone.
You'd almost think he was offended when we got the prog comparison.
I'm not
Prog?
So once he gets the drums all down, then you step in and he goes, "That's absolute shit, do it all again."
Never. It's yet to happen.
Yeah.
No, and again, we'll demo the music, and then I'll take it back and do a rough mix, and we'll pass it out. And I don't think we've ever come back with like, oh no, don't do that.
Not really. There's been wee bits. Sometimes I'll be a bit critical of it. Like we'll have done something, and I'll just sort of say, no. There's definitely something there that could be a bit weirder. and then depending on what those guys say, then we'll make it weirder.
Yeah. And talking about music, you just dropped a single there before arriving over here.
Yeah, Monday.
So what's happening music wise with yourselves? Where are you?
So we've tracked the drums for 5 songs, and now Ian and me are working our way through getting all the music done. The idea is to release one a month.
Okay.
Up to Christmas, and then what we'll do is pull that together in an EP once the last song's been released. So now we're just, as soon as we get back, we're now starting to get the next song prepped.
Yeah, the next song.
And Steve's actually picking up the mantle now of videographer, or at least the idea. So trying to stick with the DIY ethic, really.
Yeah, so that's out there now. So if it's terrible, then
with the first song,
just go along with the music. You know what I mean? Yeah, we'll go. That's really. Something's not right here, but it just fits.
With Aries, we put it on the YouTube, but you just use the visualizer. With Hal, our next song, we'd like to try and get a video done, a proper video. So that's the other thing, but no pressure, you know.
Yeah, and for like yourselves, what do you think would suit the vibe of the band? What do you go through? Like standing in a forest, or are we?
No, standing in forest. No jamming in our practice.
Standing in forest.
No, it's got to fit
ourselves in the waterfalls, maybe.
Like a Timothy ad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate going down the overly serious route, but our songs do have like a dark edge to them, so it's keeping that theme, but keeping it fresh and keeping it interesting.
Unless you can like literally, because it is obviously sometimes you storyboard it, just literally try and do a video with the story from start to finish. You
We
know,
were just
and,
talking about that before
yeah,
we came
literally.
around. I was saying to him about storyboarding it.
Yeah, that's
like, you know, it's
first move when I get home.
yeah. All you can do, you know, maybe if you know yourself what there's something behind the actual song itself and the theme, then you can just maybe try and create a
Exactly.
3-minute visual story along
That's
those
it.
lines. You know,
And then Hal, our next single is completely different shade of us
Yeah.
as well. Like Aries is just full on fucking to the hilt from the start, whereas Hal is going to be a wee bit more. It's going to sit back a wee bit more, and
It has its heavy aspects, but I
Yeah.
think that's generally it's a more moody kind of a song.
Yeah.
I kind of tell in Sinus for a start, there's no harsh vocals in it. It's all singing, all harmonies.
All
you know,
singing.
when you compare that to Aries, which was full on in your face, you know, harshness
get-go.
of the works. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I think it's just to try and show the two sort of sides,
The
you know,
versatility of it.
the two ends of our scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think the rest of the songs all kind of will sit somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. We're looking forward to hearing it, to see what's coming out. The guys back home all love you. We know that. Like everybody raves about you, you know. So it's interesting to see. And again, like, you know,
humbling.
talking.
It is
Yeah, it is. You know, 'cause
massively,
especially from the other musicians. You know,
Yeah.
they obviously really respect you guys for what you're doing and how you're approaching it as
Yeah.
well. You know.
That's cool.
So it's great to see, and everybody's sort of waiting with bated breath to see what comes.
What happens
You know?
next? I know.
Let's hope we don't
Hope we don't
disappoint anyone.
disappoint.
Yeah.
Exactly, and obviously the platform of Bloodstock is a great launching pad to,
Yeah.
to, you know,
It
to
is.
make sure you utilise it.
Aye, we're already coming up with ideas and plans and
Yeah, the next stage.
seeing what the next path to
World
world
domination.
domination is.
Exactly.
That's it, yeah.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
World domination.
Well, brilliant. Look, guys, thanks very much for taking the time to talk
Thank
to
you,
you.
man.
And,
No, thanks a lot.
all the best in the future. We'll see how things pan out for Haint.
I'm sure
So,
we'll
guys,
see
yeah,
you
make sure you
guys.
check it out. New single. What's the single called?
Hal.
Hal.
Well,
Is that the one?
Hal
Sorry.
is coming
How's the
out
next
as well.
one? Aries is the one that's just come
Just
out.
dropped.
Aries
so-
just come out
yeah.
on all your
And again, you're
normal
all on all
streaming
usual
places.
platforms, of course.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
What's the
yeah.
website or?
I think the best place to go is into our Bandcamp, isn't it?
Yeah,
You can download
We're
it
on
from there.
Bandcamp and SoundCloud.
Yeah,
And obviously we're on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
As Haint UK.
Yeah. Okay. Make sure you do check it out, guys. Haint UK. Thanks very much, guys. Absolute
Thank
pleasure once again.
Cheers.